Good morning, my name's Fiona. I'm from FF Design Studio 66. I'm redoing this video because the first one that I put up was too close and I didn't check it before I put it up because I'd just done it on my phone. So this morning we'll go through this again. This was a journal that I created using some things from Sally's recycled stuff that she sent through to all of the design team. The design team is for Crafty Junkets, Swaps Australia, I want to say. But anyway, that's that. I will put the what it's for in the description down below. So I've used some of the stuff out of the kit that Sally had sent us. So this was a piece of wallpaper that I made the cover of the small journal with. There was a little flower and these bits of doily pieces, which these three at the bottom, I'd say they look like they come off a neck piece for a top of some sort. I've cut them off. I've added a couple of vintage buttons and I've added this little button to the set to create the centre of this one. Underneath here, there is just one of those Dulux paint chip cards, Hog's Bristle. Anyway, that's what I've put this on. A couple of things to remember when you're working with wallpaper and paint chips. Paint chips and wallpaper don't stick very well to each other. So I've actually sewn these ones down, mainly because of the surface that they're made from. So this is actually a pocket in the front here, and I haven't got anything in there yet, but we can go through that in a minute. So there's a pocket there. I've just used a bit of scrap calico that I had to do the inside cover. So this pocket was part of a pattern that I've created into a pocket. Same with these little flowers. I think I put this in a different video where it made the little flowers, and created another pocket here. This is a piece of slow stitch that I'd done a while back, and I thought it looked nice in this pocket. So that'll go into there, and whoever gets this journal can have a play with that. On this page, this is a piece of fabric that come in the kit from Sally. I've just added some sewing needles, bits of thread and some pins to that page. This was an old pay slip envelope. So years ago you used to get your money in a pay envelope like this. And this was just a card that I made from another piece of slow stitch that I'd done quite some time ago. This was a bit of trim out of the pack. And this was a bit of scrap calico with some pattern paper that I'd used to make a ruffle. And I've used that as a tab. On the front of these pay packets too, there's also some slow stitch that I'd done previously. This was a piece of linen that I had in my scrap pile. This piece here come out of the kit that Sally had sent us. And another ruffle and another flower. In this pocket we have just some different basic stitches just on cards for people to have a play with. Another piece out of my stash, piece from Sally's kit. This was out of Sally's kit as well, and I haven't done much to it because I didn't think it really needed it. And I also wanted to leave some small spaces for people to actually journal onto. So this is actually a journaling card that's been stuck down to a piece of fabric in here. So this piece of fabric was actually out of my stash. So this is a vintage fabric. There's a few bits of vintage fabrics in here. Another pocket. This pocket came out of the kit from Sally. So, and somebody had already done this beautiful stitching on here, and it was sort of folded over in pieces. So I just really love this bit. And that was a piece of trim that was also in the pack. In this pocket we have some other stitches for people to play with. I'll go into what I was going to say at the end of this. Not the other side of that piece of linen, another pay packet with a card in it and a slow stitch theme. And then another piece of fabric that come with Sally's pack. And so that's essentially the journal that I've created with this. Now, what was I going to say before? So I've left the backs of these empty because my thought was these cards could be used, like the back of these are blank as well, so these could be journaling spots throughout the book. But the premise for making this journal, and hence why I've added some pins and some sewing needles and stuff, was because I thought this might make a nice little book for somebody to do as a sampler. You know, to do some embroidery, learn some embroidery stitches, which is what's on those cards, and to have a play with them. I actually really love this idea. I'm actually wanting to make one for myself now. But essentially that's what this little book is all about. I'm not worried that we've got things that hang out the side. The top and the bottom are pretty much right, but just on this end you'll find that there's bits and pieces poking out. I actually quite like that aesthetic, so I'm pretty happy with that. Okay guys, you have a great day, and I hope to see you back in my next tutorial. I might actually do a tutorial on this if there's enough interest. So if you have a look at this and leave a comment down below if this is something you would like to see how to make. Okay guys, you have a great day, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.